सर, और बाद में फिर परिचय और बाद में फिर प्रवचन का स्टार्टिंग।
ठीक है, ठीक।
वेलकम ऑल। नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। In this Pali fortnight, we welcome you all. From last 17 September 2020 to till date, we are celebrating World Pali Pride Day on the occasion of 156th birth anniversary of Bodhisattva Devamitta Anagarik Dhammapala. On this occasion, we have celebrated the greatness of Buddhism, Buddhist culture, Pali literature, and philosophy of Pali literature. We have discussed from 17 September, we have discussed many aspects about Pali language and literature. We have organized drawing competitions from Buddhist children across India and from other sides also. And we have celebrated the gatherings of head of the departments of Pali in various universities, distinguished scholars from Pali, and we have celebrated and arranged online webinars in this fortnight, 15 days celebration of World Pali Pride Day. This is the one of the best occasion. Today we have with us Venerable Mahanur Medankar Mahathir. He is from Sri Lanka. He is one of the best scholar in today's time. We are going to listen him on Chittanupassana. Before start his talk, I like to give a brief introduction about Venerable Mahanur Medankar Ther. He is traveling across the world of Buddhism, and last 3 years ago, he was in Calcutta, chief monk of Mahabodhi Society, Calcutta branch, and now he is living in Sri Lanka, Kandy. From there, he is connecting with us. He have published more than 10 booklets on various topics. His very beautiful book is on Triple Gem and 5 Precepts, Mahamangal Sutta, Ratan Sutta, and other topics. He have published his small booklets, and from the booklets he is propagating Buddhism, and he have given many talks on international platforms like Global Congregation in Aurangabad, International Buddhist Symposium in Pune, and many other gatherings. He have given his wonderful Dhamma talks. We are very blessed. On the occasion of Abhidhamma Day, whole world is celebrating today Abhidhamma Day, because on today's Purnima, Bhagwan Buddha, our Shastra, given Abhidhamma talk in Tusit celestial abode to his mother Mahamaya. So today all Buddhists celebrate as a Abhidhamma Day. On this today's occasion, I like to invite Venerable Bante to give 3 saran and 5 precepts to us, and we will begin today's session about special Chittanupassana. On the topic of Chittanupassana, Venerable Bante is going to talk with us. So I like to request Venerable Bante, please give us 3 saran and Panchasil. triple gem and 5 precepts, and we will start the session. Bante. Venerable Bante. Can you hear me, Bante? अमितजी बंतेजींचा ऑडिओ सुरू करा.
I think Bante is
can you
not.
hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
Bante, yes. Yes,
Can you
Bante.
hear?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So then you need request for the still?
Yes, Bante.
Okay.
Trisaran
Bante,
and
can
we'll
you
start
remember?
the program.
Khadmat.
Naik haru patan gato nang hari.
Hello?
Naik
Yes,
haru
Bante.
patan gato nang hari.
Hello?
Hello.
Hari.
Hello? You
Naik
are
haru
here?
patan gato nang hari.
Can you hear me?
Oh.
Hari there?
Hari.
Then Pandila, you have to you make the request or say namaskar.
You say we will follow you.
But first namotas 3 times. You mean
Okay.
Okasa Hambante, right? Okay.
Okay.
Okasa.
Okasa.
Okasa
Ahambante.
Vandami Bante.
Vandami Bhante.
Yeah, now we have to request for the Panchasil, right? So repeat me. Okasa.
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 Ahambante.
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 Istanena.
Isaranena.
Tadding. Panchasilang Dhammang.
Panchasilang Dhammang. Yachami. Anugang Katva.
Silam Deta Me Bhante.
Silang Deta Me Bhante.
Anukampang.
Upadaya.
Okay, so now repeat mantras 3 times for me here.
Okay.
I cannot hear you.
Yes.
Raji, I cannot hear you.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Repeat.
Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sangham saranang. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Sugaji, I cannot hear you. There's some connection problem, I think. I cannot hear you. Sugaji, I cannot hear you.
Yes, Bhante.
I cannot hear you because I must hear you to repeat the Panchasil. I cannot hear you.
I'm.
Can you hear me?
I'm speaking after you, Bhante.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so okay. Tanggal juga ni. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang
Dutiyampi
gacchami.
dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang
Tatiyampi
gacchami.
buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Saranagamang sapunnang
Bhante.
Patipata Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhyami.
Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhyami.
Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhyami.
Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhyami.
Kame Michachara Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhyami.
Kame Smichachara Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhyami.
Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhyami.
Savada Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhyami.
Ramere Japamadattana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhyami.
Surameraya Majapamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadam
Sarane
Samadhyami.
Sadding Anchasilam Dhamman Sadhukan Surakitam Katva Appamadena Sampadetha.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
I start?
Yes, Bhante, your mobile little more distance, then we can see your face clearly.
Repeat again, cannot hear you one bit. I can't
Right,
hear anything. Cannot hear anything.
If you if you put your mobile on little bit distance more, then we can see
Like
your
this?
face very clearly.
Remember. Hello? I am using a phone now. Is it okay? Can you hear?
Okay, Bhante, okay.
Can't hear you. Type
Now you can hear me?
Message can't be. No issues, Bhante. Send. Go ahead.
अपने गढ़पाल सर
जी बोलिए।
लगता है मेरी आवाज बंते जी को नहीं जा रही है, क्योंकि मुझे यहाँ पे थोड़ा नेटवर्क का इशू आ रहा है। तो कोई इससे बात करेंगे तो भी चलेगा, आप बात करेंगे तो भी चलेगा।
ठीक।
अभी आप बोलिए 2 मिनट और फिर स्टार्ट करते हैं। आप बोलिए सर।
Bhante ji, now you can start. We want to see your face also. Yes.
Okay. Now okay. Is it okay?
Yes. Okay, Bhante.
Is it okay?
Yes. Okay.
Can you hear
Very
me?
nice. Yes.
I can't hear you again. Yeah.
Yes,
we can hear you very clearly. Don't worry. We can hear you very clearly. Don't worry. You start.
Yes.
Make it up. Okay, I'll start. Okay. Make it up. Screen එක නැතුණා ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. Hello. Okay, I'm
Yes,
speaking
Bante ji.
now.
Yes.
Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sangham saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatyampi sangham saranang gacchami. Buddhang vandami. Dhammang vandami. Sanghang vandami. Ahang vandami sabda. The devotees of the Dhamma and the Sangha, the students of the Buddha Dhamma, dear followers, practitioners of the Buddha way, of the Buddha path, Nibbana. Tutan off another. Yeah, hello. I must first thank Sajji and all his colleagues for today's talk. Invitation extend me to give a talk this valuable Abhidhamma day. The last time I was giving a talk for the people of Nagpur, of Maharashtra, was in February, when I was presiding on a Buddhist convention organized by Sajji and some colleagues. I'm glad that after so many months with the corona COVID-19 virus, keeping the people away from their daily life as well as Dhamma practice and learning. Now again, over the electronic media, we are gathering for the Dhamma. So Abhidhamma in the form of text is the deepest of Dhammas taught by the Buddha. On the other hand, the Buddha taught Dhamma and Abhidhamma, Vinaya and Abhivinaya Abhi means the deeper part, the stronger part of the learning and the practice. So Dhamma, Dhamma and Abhidhamma. So Dhamma is the teachings, Abhi, Dhamma is the deeper part. Vinaya is the moral discipline, Abhivinaya is the deep moral discipline. So if we just take an example from the Vinaya, the 5 precepts is Vinaya, the basis of Vinaya. Then this expands to 8 precepts, 10 precepts, then the 10 precepts for the Samaner, and the 227 precepts for the Upasampada bhikkhus. So you can see that the 5 precepts extend and become deep. So like that, the basis of Dhamma starts as, if we take the ocean as the example, the shore is shallow and gradually deepens, so much so that the middle of the ocean it is very deep. So like that, the Dhamma starts in small forms. There is nothing small on the Dhamma, but for the learning, we will learn slowly. And then we grow into the Dhamma. Then we dwell in the Dhamma. Then we sink in the Dhamma, to the depth of the Dhamma. Like we do the Vinaya. A toddler cannot crawl, cannot walk. Gradually, it begins to crawl. Then it begins to stand. Then the baby starts walking small steps. And gradually, the baby becomes a child and is able to walk, not to walk, run. Then it becomes big person, and then he'll go walk independently, run independently, jog independently. Like that, step by step becomes. So Dhamma and Vinaya also it is like that. Now we come to the situation where presently lots and lots of people are attracted to Buddhism, and they see many escapes by using the Buddhism, by dwelling in the Buddhism. For some, it is escape from heartaches, from stress, from work problems, from family problems, from social problems, from discrimination, that. So we are experiencing that lots of people who are already Buddhists or who are students of Buddhism, Buddhism, are more interested in the scholar, being a scholar, or learning the Dhamma, scriptures, texts, most of them stop at that. Most of them stop at that. They are happy to acquire knowledge by reading, by discussing, then sitting exams, sitting higher exams, writing theses, writing books, like that, without actually practicing the Dhamma and the Vinaya wholeheartedly, faithfully, sincerely, loyally, with energy, with zeal, with focus, with a one-track mind. So, those students of the Buddhist Dhamma really don't fulfill the potential for themselves or the path, or traveling the path. Because the emphasis on from the Buddha is practice. Practice. Practice by mind, practice by speech, practice by physical deeds. Let us say, for example, a person is jealous or angry or miserly or egoistic or selfish, like this. At stage by stage, a person can be like that. So he knows all the theory. The person, he is a scholar, he has learned the theory, what to do. But since he did not give precedence to practice, since he did not give priority to practice, jealousy overcomes him. He doesn't know how to handle it. When anger overcomes him, when lust overcomes him, when fear overcomes him, when greed overcomes him, when selfishness overcomes him, when miserliness overcomes him, when stinginess overcomes him. See, when pride overcomes him, when anxiety comes him, when stress overcomes him, so on and so on. You can read this. Since he has not devoted himself to practice, since he did not consider importance to the practice, but he was more only studying, lecturing, and writing, being scholarly. When these defilements overtake him, he is really not in a good position to deal with them. All of you will agree with me that what I'm saying is correct and what I'm saying is true. So, our Lord and Master, our teacher guide, the incomparable Supreme Buddha, emphasized on practice. The Supreme Buddha's whole life from days of the Bodhisattva, from the days of the Bodhisattva was practicing. And in the stage when he evolved and achieved his one and only objective of becoming the Samma Sambuddha, he achieved that by practice. Our Lord and Master and teacher and guide, the incomparable Supreme Buddha, achieved Samma Sambuddha by practice. He really did not have to write any thesis. He did not have to sit any examinations. He was not evaluated by anybody in any school, any university. He did not have to answer any question paper by writing down or even verbally. It was a case of putting into practice what he knew, what he learned, what he knows. What he learned means his experiences. And all that learning he brought from his past lives as a Mahabodhisattva and the experiences of this one final last life. So that is why when the great Bhikkhu Potila, who was a scholar and a fabulous teacher, who was teaching thousands and thousands about the Dhamma, many, many thousands would flock around him. The Buddha called him a fool in public. In public, the Buddha called him an empty person and a fool. So the great Venerable Potila Thero was shocked. He was having many, many thousands and thousands and thousands of students all during the day, all during the week, all during the month, all years. And the Buddha, without praising him or acknowledging him, called him a fool and an empty person. So the Venerable Potila asked the Buddha, why you do call me an empty person, a fool? Then Buddha said, you are only concentrating on text as a student and as a teacher. You are not practicing. So with practicing, how are you going to put the teachings to true perspective and make your life better? How are you going to get liberated? How will you get enlightened by not practicing? So when the Potila changed his attitude, he changed his approach, and he started practicing. And he became a great arahant. Then, as you all know, the Buddha has told, even if any person knows only one word of Dhamma and Vinaya, he doesn't know all the text, he doesn't know all the scriptures, he is not scholar or the Vinaya Pitaka, but he knows just the one word or of Dhamma and Vinaya. So the Buddha says this person puts that one word of Dhamma and Vinaya into practice wholeheartedly, sincerely, truthfully, loyally, faithfully, to the letter, sacrificing, with commitment, with focus, with one-pointedness, mindfully, insightfully, with total saddha on the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, having total confidence, faith, and trust and belief on the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, and on the path of the Buddha's path, of the Buddha's way. Buddha's path of not falling into the unpleasant and fearsome suffering realms of existence, but gaining existence until Nibbana is achieved as an Arahant in happy realms, in realms where it is pleasant and the abode helps the practice and the Dhamma and the Vinaya. If this person is unable to attain liberation and dispassion and freedom of Nibbana in this very life, in the here and now, becoming an Arahant. So the Buddha praises such a person. He has praised that this person who, knowing just one word of Dhamma and Vinaya, makes it his own life, makes it his own way. Now that is really the Abhidhamma part and the Abhivinaya part. There are many scholars, very high up scholars, who are very much educated and have even the Abhidhamma Pitaka in their fingertips, at their fingertips. But when it comes to putting it into their own life, making it their own life, they find it very difficult because they did not make it a part of their life. For example, when somebody's child is sick, gravely sick, and when the parents and the grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters are afraid and sorry and crying and weeping, not knowing what to do, at a loss, then this kind of scholar can advise them or will advise them if they don't cry, this is the way of life, this is what the Buddha taught, so on and so forth. But when it comes to, if he was facing the same situation, he forgets all that he learned about the Abhidhamma. He also is in a same or similar plus or minus situation, because he did not make Dhamma a part of his life, the Vinaya part of his life. So the Abhivinaya and the Abhidhamma is at the depth of the practice. So there are, as we know, the Buddha taught many Abhidhammas for practice. And on this occasion, I wish to just try to talk over in simple terms about how one handles the mind. The four foundation of mindfulness, which is Satra Sati, which is Chattaro Sati Patthana, is well known, is one of the major teachings that is widespread. Separate books have been printed. It is on the internet, and there are many teachers of Chattaro Sati Patthana. Here I'm trying to make an effort to show a way that how one uses this to work with his mind. The mind is the most important thing. The mind is the leader in the good way or the bad way. The mind is the captain. The mind is the forerunner. So the mind is in charge, and what the mind dictates, what the mind dominates, what the mind instigates, thoughts will follow, speech will follow, and physical actions, body actions, will follow suit. When the mind is dull, when the mind is black, when the mind is negative, when the mind is unwholesome, the thoughts are also dull, the thoughts are black, the thoughts are negative, the thoughts are unwholesome. So are the speech, so are the body actions, the physical activities. On the other hand, when the mind is alive, alight, when the mind is pure, when the mind is white, when the mind is clean, when the mind is clear, when the mind is noble, when the mind is holy, when the mind is sacred, when the mind is positive, when the mind is wholesome, then thoughts are such like, speech is such like, body action is such like, physical activity is such like. We all have experienced what I'm telling at one time or the other in our own lives, no, at least one time, but it is not at least one time, but all of the time. Now, when the mind is neither black or dull or negative or unwholesome, nor the mind is white or alight or positive and wholesome, but the mind is full of insight. The mind is dwelling to the depth of the mind, and the mind is seeing the absolute reality and the absolute truth of vipassana jnana. Then thoughts are similar, speech is similar, body actions, physical activity is similar. So we all know now, and as our great master and teacher, our incomparable guide and master, the Supreme Buddha has disseminated, has taught us, it is the mind that is the forerunner, is the leader, which on which basis thoughts, speech, and physical actions will come. So right now, we are not discussing the speech or the physical action, but we are talking of the thoughts of the mind. So Chittanupassana, which is the third part of the four foundations of mindfulness, Chattaro Sati Patthana, although it is classified as the third, it for some it is the first, because always the mind is there. Always the mind is there. So Anupassana means that we are investigating, we are aware and mindful, we are watching this how the mind behaves, how the mind behaves. So like, for example, we stand in front of a mirror and then we look at the mirror, and from the mirror we see ourselves. So then we will see whether we become fatter or thinner. We'll see whether there are any wrinkles, whether there are any spots, whether there are any black spots, dark eyes, or whether there are any rashes or dryness. So it comes to the back side. We hold mirror from the back side as a mirror in the front side and a mirror on the back side. So the back side is seen from the mirror, reflecting our back side of the body, the front side, the frontal and front mirror. See the back. So the mirror can take care of even the parts that we cannot see. So if there is a rash or lumps or boils, the back. If skin has turned a different color, all that we can see. So like that, we make our mind the mirror. Make our mind the mirror. And from that mirror, we watch mind and watch the thoughts. So we make the mind mirror, and we get the mirror stand in front of us, and let that mind mirror watch the mind and the thoughts all the time, all the time. So now when we are focused, we are mindful, we are aware, and loyally and faithfully and sincerely we are watching the mind, we are observing the mind, we are mindful of the mind, aware of mind. What do we see? We see that some patients, lust is there. So when lust is there, when lust has overridden us, our thoughts are full. So are the speech and the reactions are not going that on that line. We are watching, we are talking of the thoughts. So the whole system is lustful. Mind is lustful, thoughts are lustful, speech is lustful, reaction is lustful, and reaction is lustful. So we know that the thoughts are lustful. After some time, the lust wanes away. The lust goes away, passes away. What do we know? And then we know that lust arose and then lust fell away, rising and falling, rising and falling. There was a birth of the lust and it died. There was a death. Lust arose and fell away. Then it is static. It is not static. It is not permanent, but it is permanent and changing, taking a different course. What happened was that the last rose, it went through its lifetime at very stage, and then it died away. So we see all Dhamma of what happened to the mind and the thoughts and the switch in the body, but it is the mind and the thoughts we are concentrating now. Likewise, when there is selfishness, when there is greediness, when there is miserliness, when there is stinginess, when there is passion, when there is desire, when there is craving, then we see that according to those states of minds, the thought process is so too. As much the speech in the body, but the thought process is what we're watching now. And all these factors we discussed are not permanent, not static, not everlasting, but they come and go. They come, they check their course of time, and they change the scenario and they die down. So there is birth and death. There is rising and falling. There's impermanence and suffering on all this. So is it with us? Now let us say our mind is angry. Our mind is hateful or revengeful, is full of vengeance, full of jealousy. So, as explained in the first occasions, the same take place, rising and falling, birth and death, coming and going, the impermanence and the suffering. Then we have on other occasions, our mind dominated by delusion, anxiety, stress, hallucinations. Then obsessions, vanity, pride, ego, foolishness, indecisiveness. So like that. So these also come and go. They rise and fall. They leave, take the course of time and duration, and they fall apart. So it is a rising and falling, a birth and death, coming and going, impermanent and suffering. Now there are other occasions where there is doubt, where there is skepticism, where there is mistrust, where there is no strength, weakness, there is lethargy, there is no determination, there is sloth and torpor, there is restlessness, so on and so forth. So then it is also take this course. See that there is the rising and falling, there is a birth and death, and it between it takes its course. For on the strength, the reasons why all these humans came be. If the reason is weak, if it is weak, then it is like a flesh. If it is weak, it is little time. If it is middle, then it will work sometime. If it is strong, it can go days and days, maybe months and months, it can be lifetime, or it can go through other existence, can become a habit, like what happened to the Venerable Devadatta. So Devadatta's mind and was taught to question it strongly against Buddha a long million of years ago, when they were two friends who were doing business together. So that mindset and the process was so strong, was so deep, was so corrupt, so antagonistic. And when Devadatta did make any effort to put it out, the fire that was burning, so it manifested. It evolved into a great hatred of revenge and vengeance. And he did lots and lots of damage to his own self by trying to harm Buddha. When we look at the other side of thought, mind, with all those conditions that we have discussed through, quite opposite of that. Quite opposite of that. The positive side, lighter side is wholesome. Again, we see that the thought process, the speech and the physical activity is accordingly. And in this will come and go. The good side will rise and fall. Will, as there be a birth and a death, there's a birth and a death. And it takes its course. It to take its course. So now, what is the main intention of a Buddha? The main intention of the Buddha, who is the Dhamma king of the 10,000 worlds, who is the eliminator of suffering of the heavens, of the world of Brahmas, of the human world, of the 10,000 worlds. That the main focus, the main goal, the main target is achieving Nibbana. Putting out the fire of samsara. The burnings of this journey, long journey, which as a person evolves in the Dhamma, he knows to himself that the Buddha said is true, that it is true, that it is a long journey, and he has been a participant in this journey and has faced consequences of this journey. So now, the practitioner will wholeheartedly, devotedly, sacrificing all that is a hindrance to this path of the Buddha way, to this path of Nibbana, without any compromising, with being faithful and loyal to the Lord Buddha, the noble Dhamma, and the holy Sangha, will cultivate saddha. And the thought and the mind will be strong in saddha. So the thoughts will be strong in saddha. The speech will be strong in saddha. And the body actions will be strong in saddha. They will be displayed in the action. So this yogi or this practitioner of the path to Nibbana then will practice to be very strong morally, in moral discipline. Then this practitioner will give. It is not only food, but whatever is givable and essential to give during that time. He will practice strongly his moral code of discipline. Then he will share, he will give, he will renounce. He'll give, he will share, he will renounce strongly. Then he will be full of loving kindness, full of compassion, full of righteous joy, full of equanimity. He will be full of equanimity. So this mind is being trained, this mind is being disciplined, this mind is brought under control, this mind is being motivated, this mind is in delight, the mind is in joy, with dwelling deeper and deeper and stage by stage on the path of the Dhamma and the Vinaya, on the Buddha's way to Nibbana. Now this yogi, this practitioner will study the Dhamma and the Vinaya with a different perspective. His study of Dhamma and Vinaya is focused on one track, on one pointedness towards Nibbana for himself, and wherever he will get to share the Dhamma and the Vinaya and his experience, it will be for the good of many and good of others, and they will be focused on Nibbana too. Now, the practitioner or the yogi will start on samatha meditation, and the mind will grow into absorption. And in the meantime, it is essential that this mind becomes contented, is happy, is easily satisfied with the requisites that are needed, the basic requirements that are needed for keeping the life going, to keep the life going, like food, dresses, then place of stay, medication, traveling, so on and so forth. All the basic requirements will be controlled, and he'll be happy, contented, and will be easily to satisfy. So now the mind that takes the samatha meditation will develop into mental absorptions, jhanas, transcending from the material, from the mundane, to calm, to concentration, to bliss. Now the yogi or the practitioner will devote the mind to see the absolute reality, to see the absolute truth, and then the mind will note and see that all conditioned matter is impermanent, is changing, is not everlasting, The cause and effect, the effect come because of the causes, and sometimes the effect becomes the cause. So it goes on and on and on. And all this is not static. They rise and fall. There is a life and a death, and there is a course that it takes. Then this yogi and the practitioner will note that all these causes and effects and conditioned matter, so things are impermanent and they suffer. There is pain, there is dissatisfaction, there's crying, lamentation, sorrow, what and what not. Again, the mind will see that the practitioner and the yogi, he will see. Actually, when I use the word see, S-E-E, we know that seeing and knowing. Yeah, it is seeing and knowing. We see and we know. That what is impermanent, what is suffering, what is not static, but what is ever changing, is not within our purview, is not within our control. So there is nothing to say, this is I, this is me, this is mine, this is my belonging, this is myself, this is my soul. On the surface, yes, on the surface, for livelihood, it is so. This is me, I, all this and all the stuff is there. But when we look at it from the point of view of the absolute truth and the absolute reality, there is nothing there. Nothing is under my control in that sense. There is no I, no me, no mine, no myself. Only causes and effects, actions and reactions. So this we know is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then of course all the non-conditioned matter is also not within our purview, is not within our control. There is no I, no me, no mine, no myself, no my soul. It's not a soul. It's not I, not me, not mine, not myself, and not a soul. Now, all this mindset will be reflected by its thoughts and speech and body actions, but right now we are focusing on the mind and the thoughts. Now this practitioner and this yogi, he continues on samatha and vipassana escalates in his system. So he slowly but surely becomes nearer and nearer to the final goal of Nibbana in the here now in the life, and eventually becomes a Rahat. So the state of mind of the Arahat also sees and knows. The thoughts are said so, the speech is so, and the physical actions. So again, we right now have been focusing on the mind of that yogi who is an Arahat. So his thoughts and thoughts will be there. Now he knows for himself. He sees for himself, and he clearly knows there's accomplished the task he has undertaken as a devoted and loyal and a faithful and a confident student, a servant, a disciple and a follower of the mighty Lord Buddha, the noble Dhamma and the whole Sangha. There is no more suffering, there's no more birth and death, there's no more traveling in this long, unpleasant journey of samsara. There's no more doing karma. There's no more facing up to karma vipaka and reactions in the new sense. Not nuisance, but NEW, space SENSE. So he knows. This yogi and this practitioner knows that he's a winner, he's a victor, and he has achieved arahanthood. So may all beings, may all sentient beings be well and happy and be in peace. May all beings in the 10,000 worlds be blessed by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And may all beings attain the final bliss of Nibbana. Ashirvad, Ashirvad, Ashirvad. Haridhar, is it okay?
Yes, Bante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Such a great.
Okay.
Yes, Bante. Thank you very much.
What did I? I cannot hear. Ane puta poda me and 1 minute I'll get young boy. Pune poda ke barando mugati nikle. Kine ke. Yeah, what thing, Ji? What did you say?
Thank you very much, Bante. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, no, what did you say? Okay.
I say thank you very much.
No, you were saying such a, what do you say?
Thank you very much.
And here. Can't hear.
गढ़पाल सर आप बात कर सकते हैं?
Cannot hear.
सोनाली जी बात कीजिए आप. सोनाली जी.
I cannot hear my friend Dhamma.
सोनाली जी बात कीजिए.
Shall I take you off
okay,
the scene?
Hello, Bandi ji. Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Thank you so much, Bandi ji.
Okay.
No, Bandi ji. Okay. Thank you so much, Bandi ji, for your wonderful talk, your valuable speech. We are blessed by teaching of Buddha by in your words. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you so much, Bandi ji.
Okay. Ashirvad. What did is this one there? Oh, yeah,
Yes, Bandi ji. No, I'm hearing.
Sugat ji is there. He went off there.
Yes, Bandi ji, he's here, but he's here, Bandi ji, but
yeah, Sugat,
you can't.
Yeah, what did you say? Such a, and then I lost you. What you were going to say? You were saying such a,
Bante, I told that wonderful speech you have given us and such a wonderful blessings and such a wonderful direction you give us on Chittanupassana and mindfulness. We are very glad and we are very thankful to have you on this webinar.
Oh, thank you very much. And one thing I noted was that once the picture is taken off, right, the hearing becomes clear. When the picture is taken off, the hearing becomes clear. I don't know why it is. Anyhow, okay. So I'm also, I also thank you and bless you for.
That will be okay. Yeah.
What is that?
Now I like to invite Gatpal sir to have some words about this session, and then we go for next session. Gatpal sir.
Hello. We are very thankful to you, Bhante जी. आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं.
Okay.
Hello. Mangal. You delivered a great lecture on this great occasion. So we are thankful. Very, very thankful.
I am humbled. I am humbled by all of you being so praiseful and praising me and thanking me. I am very humbled, and all these praises and thanks should be not for me, but to our great master, our great teacher, our great guide, the Supreme Buddha, the Dhamma King of the 10,000 worlds. If not for the Buddha, we will not have anything to say. So I thank you in two ways, because you are thanking me and you are showing gratitude and you are praising me. So that means you are happy and you have taken what I've said. But it is actually, what you are saying is, thank you, Buddha. We are grateful to you, Buddha. Not I am Buddha, but our one and only incomparable Lord. So I am sadhu. Thank you to all, because you are inspiring me to be more closer to Buddha and the Dhamma and the Sangha. I am also very thankful to you and grateful to you for those words of thanks and praise, because it means that we are close to Buddha and Dhamma and Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Session closed?
Yes, Bhante ji. Yes,
Hello.
Yeah.
पन्ना स्वामी बनते जी है या दोपहर को आएंगे?
2 बजे से बनते जी उपस्थित रहेंगे. अभी आज कार्यक्रम था ना, कल चर्चा हुई थी हमारी. बनते जी 2 बजे.
बनते जी का आशीर्वाद गाथा लेते हैं. बनते जी का आशीर्वाद गाथा लेते हैं और फिर समाप्त कर देते हैं.
Oh, you आशीर्वाद गाथा.
Yes, Bante. Please, we will conclude this session with your blessings.
Okay. Sabbiryo vyajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavat mantarayo skidiyayuko bhav sabbe buddha lapta pacheyan changlang Arhandananchajena Rakang Bandamyamso Abhivadana Silisa Nishang Adha Pichayino Chataro Dhamma Vadanti Ayuano Sumanglang Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Vasha To Nibbana Sampatti Iminate Samijatu. may infinite, incomparable, and infinitely loving and caring and compassionate and wise Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha bless all of you
Sadhu,
always. May my
sadhu,
metta and
sadhu,
karuna
sadhu.
also be with you, and may you achieve nibbana as soon as possible, all of you,
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
and all the good things of Dhamma come to you. Thank you, thank you, sir.
सोनाली जी अगले सेशन के लिए मालूम जानकारी दे दीजिए अगला सेशन के लिए 2 बजे से शुरू होगा
Okay, so hello. Our next session will be start on 2 p.m. It will running up to 6 p.m. Okay, so there are honorable guest will discourses on different topics. They are related to Abhidhamma topics. So please kindly join us around 2 p.m. Okay, so it's complete. Okay, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
अमित जी लिंक
Kindly join us around 2 p.m.
क्लोज
Okay.
Close.
So it's
यस
complete.
बनते यस
Nuclear close.
Okay, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.